Matter and space may be all that are the universe. Perhaps time could be included. Matter. 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 Matter and space may be all that are the universe. Perhaps time could be included. In any event, what kind of matter is there? Most humans teaching in science do not think photons are matter. So this thinking is never explored. Is a photon the smallest piece of matter in the universe? Also measured in the universe are pieces of matter called neutrinos. What size is a neutrino? Nobody has even guessed a size for a photon except me here. Size of photon equals 1 exponential minus 30 meters cubed. In other words, 1 exponential minus 30 of a meter in all three dimensions. Can other matter be divided into photons? Yes, I think. My guess is that all atoms can be separated into photons. Can photons be separated, split into more small pieces of matter? I think possibly yes. What then is the most small piece of matter measurable? And when the most small piece of matter, and then the most small piece of matter that could exist? I think just like Democritus, just like Democritus thought that all of matter is made of atoms. For me, all of matter is made of photons. There may be a piece of matter more small than even a photon, more small than a neutrino. Whatever humans were calling energy is in the Einstein equation E equals mc squared or E equals mc2 is probably a measure of a number of more small pieces of matter plus the velocity of the pieces of matter. My opinion is that atoms are made of photons, matter that can be separated into photons. When a piece of flint is moved at a velocity of 20 meters per second into a piece of iron, or a piece of iron touched to a rotating aluminum oxide wheel, a spark is seen, showing that photons, the only matter the human eye can recognize, and other matter, more large groups of matter, are let go from the flint and iron, making the flint and iron less in size. The same is true for an object that is heated until the object glows red. What is happening is that photons are moving out of orbit. The object is losing photons, matter. The object may contain less photons or matter than before the object was heated. Remember to include the amount of photons and matter that went into the heating of the object. Most humans in science, when asked, would say that the photons are made at the time the spark is made. I think the photons were there the whole time and are the most old pieces of matter in the universe, made when the universe was made. Anytime you see sparks or light, you are seeing photons being released from matter. A nuclear explosion is really the release of photons from atoms. Photons may be held in atoms because of gravity. So how many photons are contained in a proton, an electron, and other pieces of matter? Humans have seen that all atoms are made of 3 units of matter, neutrons, protons, and electrons. Humans have seen that protons and neutrons are both made of 3 distinct pieces of matter called quarks, or people think that is true. Most popular and high-paid humans in science will say, if asked, that a photon is not matter and is said to have 0 mass. Other particles given 0 mass and 0 space are the positive and negative weak bosons. How many pieces of matter and what size may bosons actually be? There may be only one kind of piece of matter that is located in various points in space in the universe. A group of these pieces of matter could make a photon, quark, electron, proton, hydrogen atom, star, planet, galaxy, all matter. This piece of matter may be a photon or a Z particle or some piece of matter not measured or given a name yet. If pieces of matter attract by what is called gravity or because of the movements of matter in space-time or because of the changing of space-time and the way matter changes the geometry of space-time, where time is thought of as a fourth dimension, the more complex movements of millions of pieces of matter could explain the effect of electric and magnetic attraction and separation, hydrogen bonding, nuclear fission and fusion, and the movements of life. I could be wrong. No human should be locked into jail or hospital for guessing. Humans never describe a nuclear explosion in counts of photons released. Humans never describe fire as photons captured by a human eye. Perhaps an integer-only math should be used to describe the movements of matter. For example, there may be one photon, never 1.45 photons. When a human finally hears a word from the most famous humans in science, a human hears that there are 12 basic particles and some have no mass, and mass in quotes, and occupy no space. The idea of mass is used in some equations and by some humans. Mass should be thought of as the number of pieces of matter in some object. Perhaps no constants should be used. I think that the word energy may only describe matter and the velocity of the matter. The word force describes the way matter moves. There is a clear difference between a word used to describe a piece of the universe and a word used to describe how a piece of the universe moves. Sometimes I think there is no energy and no force. I think only matter and space exists in this universe. I still want to see and explain the 10 secret equations of Albert Einstein used to calculate the orbit of planet Mercury, and how the secret equations of Isaac Newton are less accurate.